Have you ever wondered what the world would look like if the Byzantine Empire actually survived? What if that gleaming city on the Bosphorus, Constantinople, the heart of the Byzantine Empire, had never been conquered in 1453? Let's dive into one of history's greatest what-ifs. Imagine it's the mid-15th century. The Ottoman cannons are at the gates of Constantinople. But in our timeline, something different happens. Maybe a new, powerful crusade from the West arrives just in time. Or perhaps a brilliant Byzantine emperor uses advanced military tactics, like the legendary Greek fire, to utterly decimate the besieging army. The Ottoman siege fails. Constantinople stands. The Byzantine eagle still soars. What happens next? First, the immediate geopolitical landscape of the Eastern Mediterranean is completely different. A resurgent Byzantium, even a weakened one, would act as a major Christian power blocking Ottoman expansion into Europe. The great sieges of Vienna might never have happened. The Balkans could have remained largely under Byzantine influence, Orthodox Christian and Greek-speaking, dramatically altering the ethnic and religious map of the region we know today. Without the fall of Constantinople, the motivation for European explorers to find a new sea route to the east would be lessened. Why risk sailing into the unknown Atlantic when the traditional Silk Road, secured by a friendly Byzantine Empire, is open for business? This could delay the age of discovery. Perhaps Christopher Columbus would have struggled to find funding for his voyage. Or maybe it would have been the Byzantines themselves, with their rich naval tradition, who would have become the great explorers, sailing under the double-headed eagle instead of the cross of Burgundy. Think about the Renaissance. The fall of Constantinople sent a wave of Greek scholars fleeing to Italy, carrying with them priceless ancient texts and knowledge that helped fuel the rebirth of arts and sciences. If Byzantium survived, this intellectual migration might not have happened so suddenly. Instead, the Renaissance could have had two epicenters, one in Italy and another, more vibrant one, in a thriving Constantinople. The city would have remained the world's leading center for learning, philosophy, and art, a direct, unbroken continuation of Greco-Roman civilization. We might see a fusion of Eastern and Western artistic styles, creating something entirely new and breathtaking. Now let's fast forward a few centuries. A surviving Byzantine Empire would have to contend with the rise of new European powers. Imagine the complex diplomacy between Constantinople, the Habsburgs in Austria, the French monarchy, and the burgeoning Russian Empire. The Russians, who saw themselves as the third Rome after Constantinople, would have a complicated relationship with the second Rome still standing. Would they be allies, united by their Orthodox faith, or rivals for leadership of the Eastern Christian world? This dynamic could redefine the entire power balance of Europe. And what about religion? The Great Schism of 1054 divided Christianity into the Catholic West and the Orthodox East. With a powerful Byzantine Empire surviving, there might have been a stronger push for reconciliation. A unified Christian church, or at least a much closer relationship between the Pope in Rome and the Patriarch in Constantinople, could have profoundly changed the religious and cultural development of the world. The Protestant Reformation might have played out differently, facing a more unified Christian front. As we move into the modern era, the Industrial Revolution would pose a new challenge. Could the ancient bureaucratic Byzantine state adapt to the age of steam and steel? A forward-thinking emperor might have spearheaded industrialization, turning the empire into a modern economic powerhouse, leveraging its strategic position controlling trade between Europe and Asia. Constantinople could have become a 19th century global hub, a mix of ancient wonders and modern marvels, like a London or Paris, but with a history stretching back 1,000 years more. However, the rise of nationalism in the 19th and 20th centuries would be the empire's greatest test. The multi-ethnic Byzantine state, composed of Greeks, Slavs, Armenians, and others, would have faced immense internal pressures. Could it have transformed into a federal system, a sort of United States of the Near East? Or would it have fractured along ethnic lines, much like the Austro-Hungarian and Ottoman empires did in our timeline? A surviving Byzantium would have been at the center of the Eastern question, and its fate would have determined the shape of the Middle East and the Balkans. Let's imagine it successfully navigates these challenges. What would the 21st century look like? We might see a powerful, democratic federal state centered on Constantinople, perhaps renamed Nea Romi or New Rome. It would be a major player in global politics, a member of the EU or a similar bloc, a bridge between cultures. The official language would be a modern form of Greek, but the culture would be a rich tapestry woven from centuries of Roman, Greek, and Near Eastern traditions. The Hagia Sophia would have remained the greatest cathedral in Christendom, its mosaic shining, never having been converted. The survival of the Byzantine Empire would mean that the direct line to the ancient Roman world was never broken. It would be a living link to our classical past, a world where the legacy of Caesar and Constantine wasn't just in ruins and history books, but in the living institutions and culture of a major world power. The world would be richer, more complex, and immeasurably different. So, the next time you look at a map, imagine a powerful nation stretching across the Balkans and Anatolia, with its vibrant capital at the crossroads of the world. That's the ghost of a lost empire, a tantalizing glimpse of a world that could have been. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through alternate history. What do you think would have happened? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more explorations into the great what-ifs of history. See you next time.